Hello my fragrance lovers and my good smelling companions, Dominic here for Fragrance Reviews. And today we have a fragrance that I purchased because I wanted to bring back some of that nostalgia. Last time I got it was 3 years ago. It was my second fragrance, I believe, that I ever got. And I wanted to bring some of those notes back into the air again, and I have been wearing it, and I'm going to share with you the experience of this fragrance. It's a fragrance that now has flankers and flankers of flankers. You know, the current one is eau de parfum, and it's sort of very blackish. I do love the visuals of this one, and it is, as you'll have seen by the title, Dolce & Gabbana the one, the original Dolce & Gabbana the one, eau de toilette, EDT. Right, just before we get into that, a little heads up that I have another 4 colognes, miniatures, that are coming soon. So you might be stuck with me for another 5-6 videos, including this one, about fragrances. So if you're new here, my name is Dominic. I do fragrance videos every now and then. This channel is goes up and down, and occasionally you might see the random video as well. I wouldn't call myself a very professional fragrance reviewer at this stage. Very much as the hobby that I take up every now and then. And but you know, if you're subscribed, you will be notified if you hit the little notification, and you can see the occasional video. Any comments and suggestions do help promote the channel. Another fragrance I would love to get my hands on is Bleu de Chanel, and I have some other ones that I'm thinking about as well. But let's get on with the content of this video. Dolce & Gabbana the one. It comes in a very blackish box, but it's actually not entirely black, it's kind of slightly brownish. So they're confident, they're just giving it to you like that, and it's a very it's a bit of a niche fragrance. It was sort of the mark of Dolce & Gabbana, which it'll have the ingredients on the back of the box and batch code on the bottom, and you know, little inscriptions saying, you know, it's eau de toilette, 50 ml, 1.64 ounces, and the name Dolce & Gabbana right there at the opening. And it is a heavy box because this is a chunky but slender looking bottle design for a fragrance. So we are going to crack this open and have a look inside. It's not the kind of fragrance I would lift up by the top, although it does kind of snap on quite nicely, but it's a heavy bottle, so I would avoid holding it quite by the top. And here we are. Yeah, I really have been wearing it quite a bit. Now when I first got this, I was kind of blown away that I actually had it in my hand. It was this hyped fragrance. It still is very popular, and it's something that the women love a lot as well. This is sort of a glorious fragrance. I mean, the vibe and the aromas of this fragrance, and the sort of the iconic name and the design really make this a great fragrance. So it's nice, chunky, heavy glass, and this very kind of smooth design right there for the top. That was another thing I really liked about the bottle, is just this appearance of it. And you got this kind of yellowy orange fragrance juice inside, and it really does look slender. You can see this thing coming down, and it's just, you know, that someone wearing this means business, and really quite an enjoyable thing to look at and even to hold in your hand. Now you will have the inscription down there at the bottom, Dolce & Gabbana the one, and other than that it's fairly plain, fairly standard. So we can take a top off like so. It does, you know, it's sturdy enough, and that's nice and chunky as well, rather heavy. So, atomizer is ordinary, standard, it's good, does the job well, and we are going to get a little bit onto my skin right now, so we can get oh, fruity, fresh. Now I will say with this, oh, that is a lovely smell. It does bring back those memories of you could smell it even when you hadn't even opened a box. I mean, you just got the plastic out and you're like, oh, you know, you're already getting vibes of this this powerhouse of scent. This is one of those fragrances that, well, there are some out there that they actually work better when you're a little further away from the person. The kind of what lingers in the air has a better effect. This one you will need to get a little bit nearer to the person to really appreciate that very beautiful, masculine, fairly sexy vibe that it gives off. And it's just adorable. It really is. And so, in this beautiful scent, we have a fine array of notes. The top is going to be grapefruit, coriander and basil. And then you'll have a heart note then consisting of cardamom and ginger. And then it'll dry down to tobacco, amber and cedarwood. So you've got the tobacco-y, you've got the sort of grapefruit, you've got coriander, the basil, a bit of herbs, cardamom and the ginger, the amber. You've got lots of stuff in there, and it's really quite an impressive combination of notes. It's eight distinct notes in this fragrance, and powerful, punchy, really beautiful. There's all sorts of stories of women that have just been super impressed by sniffing this. I've got the average compliment, oh, you smell good kind of thing, but you know, the story goes of, you know, a girl that was next to a guy wearing this and she just started hugging him and he was like, oh, you know, you're gonna let me go? Not if you smell this good. So it is really lovely that way. And so it's the kind of thing, it's quite a bit of a daring one. I don't think I'd wear it necessarily into an office. I mean, you could, depends what kind of person you are. It is quite the attention grabber. I'm thinking kind of summery, could be dayish, could be fairly versatile that way, but kind of a summery nightish scent is kind of where I'd put it. You can wear this in the day as well, that's for sure, but I'm just saying where it's best is kind of a summery night. Date night, definitely. It's just got this beautiful oozy kind of aura around you, and then the closer you get, the better it is. And it's a stunner. It really is a compliment getter. Makes you feel good and confident, free, attractive. It's just got this inviting thing that you know, it's, you wear it around, you know, your partner, and it just creates this you know, inclination for intimacy, all that sort of thing. So it has all these qualities of being the men's cologne and the one that's just really beautiful, really attractive. Lots of good things going for it. Now, I wouldn't mind doing, now that I've kind of gotten back into used to this fragrance, doing one where I compare it to some of the others in the line. This is not what the average person would go and buy if he knew a lot about fragrances, because of the other options out there. But I'm not sure if I'm a great fan of that attitude. Sometimes there's nothing like the original, and sometimes, you know, you just think the original, sometimes they just did it really well, and it has its unique vibe, and it brings back the first time you smelled it. And sometimes it kind of grows on people, and they sort of like the whole signature scent kind of thing of it. For example, with Armani's Stronger With You Intensely, and just Stronger With You, I still just really like that original one. I don't know why, it's just something about that first impression you get is really important, and sometimes I just want that to stay with me, and sometimes it's a bit hard to top that because of kind of the memories and almost like the emotions that come with that first encounter with a new fragrance that you love. So it really is kind of personal choice. Now, if I was really into Dolce Gabbana as a house, as fragrances, I probably want to get more from the line, and I'd probably venture out and I would upgrade, so to speak, to the other fragrances. But for me, this still does a fantastic job of bringing in those compliments, making me feel just good and smelling great. And you can wear this with confidence. If you're wearing Dolce & Gabbana, people will smell it on you. It's a great gift for a man. It's a great thing for a man to wear out, and just really that other people catch that really good vibe off you. So it's very masculine. It has it very much focuses on these male notes somehow in all this concoction. They really bring out that masculine side, but in a very attractive way, kind of alluring, kind of sensual. I mean, that's what's the whole design of it. So it really is quite a banger, quite a beast of a fragrance. But I'd be a bit picky about where I'd wear it, what time of day, season, that sort of thing. So I've been loving it over the summer, which is now gone. The kind of summery evenings and a bit in the daytime as well, definitely. So it's a good trusty fragrance, and being sort of the original these days, it's fairly affordable still, so you don't have to splash out on the top one, because this is, to me, nothing's changed. You know, when I first smelt this, I was excited by it, I felt great, and I can kind of still get that all right, and not sorry that I went back and got it back in my hands and got my nose back on it once again. So that's a little breakdown of this fragrance. If you're very interested in Dolce Gabbana, the other one, Pour Homme, is beautiful as well. That kind of soapy one. It's supposed to smell like a super fresh laundry just done, and that kind of thing. Kind of Mediterranean-ish sort of vibe to it. And that's another really beautiful one. You know, it's just a kind of slendery bottle that's kind of go round at the top and flattens out at the bottom, and Dolce & Gabbana, and the box on that one is adorable, a blue velvet sort of thing. So those two Dolce & Gabbana ones, I love them both very much. And this one, oh, they're almost incomparable. They're just so different. The very first one was the Pour Homme, and this one is the one. Excellent fragrances, compliment getters, you know, producers of confidence as well. So yes, now, as I said, any drawbacks? Well, obviously this one is an old one, as I've been saying all along, and that this has its true effect when someone's a bit nearer to the person who's wearing it, whereas other ones, they might have a better effect further out. So that's an interesting one with Dolce & Gabbana, the one. I'm not sure if it's like that with the other ones in the line, but that's sort of the case generally with this one. And I like the visuals of it, but as I say, and the other ones, you know, got this really dark one that's just black, but you can't actually see through it. But this for me was to relive that experience really, and yeah, any other drawbacks? Not really. So overall happy with it, and no intention at the moment to upgrade to one of the other ones, because this is doing the job for me, and all you have to say really is, oh, it's Dolce & Gabbana, or it's Dolce & Gabbana the one, you know. But people don't usually ask what exactly is it. They just, you know, they'll just say, oh wow, that's good, and then you can kind of say, oh yeah, it's, you know, and give it a name. So there we are, gentlemen and ladies, if you're watching this too. Happy to have just stepped in and shared some of my experience with getting that nostalgia back with Dolce Gabbana, the one original. Thank you for watching, and we do have some more videos coming up, about another 5. So if you'd like to watch those, just make sure your notification is turned on, and I will see you in the next video. March forward, smell it.